Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode what we'll do is we'll continue working around the back here. Now I think we're on episode 5 just now. We seem to get this base mesh put together quite quick, which is pretty cool. Hopefully then if we can get the rear section done in this episode, we may include the cloth roof in this. So hopefully if we get this done, we may be able to work on the roof as well today. And then in the next episode it'll be a case of separating all the panels and starting to add some details. So what we'll do is we'll jump right in here and let's grab all the information for the back of the car. Okay, so we're looking fairly simple back here. It looks like it's just going to be a case of extruding up the diffuser as well. Looks like it's going to be fairly simple to finish off, so let's get cracking. We'll grab these edges here. I'm going to hit Ctrl E. I'm going to pull this up here. And what we're going to want to do is just make sure we're linking up nicely with the lower end of the license plate section there. What we'll probably end up doing here is we'll snap this up here and converge them together. And then I think what we'll do is we'll start to pull these points out here, and we want to get a bit of curvature in a few directions for this. Let's do something just like that. Okay, so we've got kind of a nice shape there, and then we're going to go again, and this time we'll just take these points. So we'll leave the section there for the license plates and bring these up here. And again, we're going to want to do the same. We're going to grab this point here, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to actually want to bring it in at that point. So we're going to merge those together. And I think we'll want to probably lower that to there. Bring that in as well. Looks like I might have accidentally extruded an additional face there, so I'll just get rid of that. Should be fine. And then we'll want to just get these elements here now nicely in line. We are going to want to move back this way because we can see that this block here, I believe, we want one of these to sit. Okay, so this one here we want to sit just there, like so. This one here we're going to actually want to be out here, so that means at this point I want this to be a lot straighter. So we'll probably want these here to be a bit further out as well then. We want that line to be roughly as straight as the one next to it. Okay. Or something like that. So that's looking pretty good. What we'll want to do as well then is we are going to want to bring an additional line down and around here, and then we can just join it onto this triangle there. We'll remove this face, and I'm just going to let's just extrude this out here, and then we can just merge these portions here. Just tidy up around there just a little bit. Okay, so that's looking good so far. Let's have a think. So around here we are going to need some additional geometry because we do need to go up and around the tail light here. So what we'll do is we'll insert an edge loop. We'll just try to go roughly in the center here. do is we'll want to make sure all of this is lining up nicely. And make sure we're getting a little bit of curvature in each of these so that the lines aren't too straight. Okay. And then I think we'll take this point here and we're going to extrude up. So it looks like we can cheat just a little bit here. Let's just bring this in. I think we want to go just to the side of that there. Because it does look like we will be able to overlap at this portion. Something like that, which is fine. Let me just open up my rear references. Okay, so it looks like this here actually needs to be more over here. Actually, what we'll do is, because we will want an additional extrusion, no, we'll leave that there and we can adjust that a little bit later. We're going to want to grab all of these and hit Control E and extrude these out here. Snap that one back into the center here, like so. This one will probably want to be something like that. Like that. So we need to grab each of these. I'm going to want to pull it in. Maybe something like that. Okay. And I think the easiest thing to do would be to grab these two edges here, Control E. Firstly, we will merge these two together, and then we'll want to snap these here into the center, holding X. Okay. Probably want to bring those out just a little bit too. Okay, so far that's looking pretty good. We could also bring the diffuser along here as well. So what we'll need is we're going to need to put two more edges in here. So we'll drop one just there. And we're going to use this to give us some more curvature. I'm going to want to bring a loop just here, because we're going to want this to line up better now with that adjustment. I'm just going to grab this here, merge, holding V, I'm just going to bring it out to that point there. We're also going to want to add another line. Let's bring in our back view again. We'll want to add another one maybe here. And again, we're going to want to make sure that we've got some curvature in there. Okay. So I'm going to grab the edge here, maybe just grab the one, let's just get rid of that one. I'm going to extrude this along here, and then I'm going to extrude it down here. So maybe what we'll maybe do is we'll take that over here instead, and then we won't need this additional line. So I'm just going to delete the edge of vertices there, just because we don't want to have too much in one space, which will end up straightening elements off. So we'll bring that in like so. And let's now bring these into position. So we'll do something like that. And then we're essentially going to want to extrude this down here. And then this will line up with that point there. So let's just have a look at straightening this out. I don't want to bring that out maybe to about that point there. And then we're going to want to follow that line down. Okay. Now what we'll need to do is insert an edge loop roughly there. And we'll want this one here to merge to this one, and this one merge down here. Okay, we just want to make sure that we're maintaining the same shape, something like that. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll grab the edges of this point here, and we're just going to extrude in, and we're going to want this one here to merge down here, and we'll want these ones to be moving in this direction. And in our rear view, we'll probably want these to line up. We can see just here. I'll kind of want those to sit. And then we're going to obviously want to follow this line just here. Here. Okay. We'll maybe want to bring these up, something like this. And then we can extrude the edges again. And these, something like that. And we can drop that, something like that, to give us that curve underneath. I'm not going to use this one. Let's delete the edge and the vertices from there. I don't think it's needed. I'm going to let's bridge that gap, and then we'll bridge that gap too. Okay, so that's looking good. Right, so one thing I do want to check is the additional line that I added in here. I'm going to want to give a little bit of curve to that, I think. So We'll maybe get a nice flow with that line there, nice flow down inside there, just give it some curve. Okay, so our diffuser again, let's get back in our rear view. We're going to work around the exhaust. So if we grab these points here, we just want to grab all of the associated edge points there. And we're just going to extrude these in, really. If we grab these points here and maybe stagger them a little bit, like so. We'll have this one here and this one here, and even though that's fairly angled right now, that should curve off quite nicely. So drop those in something like that, and then we'll just pull these in. It looks like they probably want to go fairly far in there, and we'll want to get a nice shape to them. So something like that. And I'm just going to grab them again, hit Control E, and just bring them in like so. Okay, and that's where the exhaust will sit quite nicely. That's the dual center exhaust here on this model. Let's go now for the top of the boot here. Now, let's just see. So it looks like what we'll probably want to do is we'll probably want to grab this line here. And it looks like we're going to want to extrude this and take this all the way around to this point. About there. So I'll take it around to the actual join of the... Maybe go one from it because it looks like it's got a little bit of a crease in there. So we'll take that there. Let's just pull this into position like so. So this is going to be a fairly defined line going around the top of the tail lights here. And what we're going to need is we are going to look, it looks like we'll want this line here to eventually hit here. And then this line will end up bridging that last little bit before the actual boot comes down. So we'll need to insert an edge loop. We'll just go roughly in the center, I think. Hopefully we'll be able to stretch it out that far. And then we'll pull that out to get that curve to it. Okay. It's going to be a case here that we want this edge and this edge to bridge together. And then we can fill this hole here. And because we filled that hole and created a triangle, that will allow us to get another line down here. This here we're going to want to hit Control E. Let's just see how we're looking on our rear view here. Okay, so we're looking pretty good, I think. We'll just pull that across like so. Okay, so something like that looks fine. And then we can merge our vertices here. And then we're just going to want to make sure we're sitting nicely here. I think we'll sit to this side. And pull that up. Okay, so that's looking good. So it appears now that all we really want to do is two things. We're going to want to extrude all these edges all the way to the top, and then we can add an additional line inside to meet that triangle. Now we do have a line here which looks like it's going to be for the spoiler, so I think this is a line that we'll use to join down here, so that worked out quite nicely. Something like that. It looks like this is an extra line which we'll need to think about as well. So again, let's work to one side. We'll probably work to the edge that's furthest forward here. I want to get a bit of curve to that too. So we'll go something like that just now. It looks like we could maybe run a line off here as well then. So if this one comes inside here, and then we can run a line off there. Grab these edges again. I'm going to hit Ctrl E. We'll bring this down to the edge of the spoiler now. Okay. And then we can align that up here too. And I think what we'll do is we'll align to the lower side, the furthest line back now. Keep everything flowing in this direction to help us get that curve as well. Bring all these points up and down just there. So it's looking good. And then let's go with that. And then we can just bring that straight here to the edge now. So we'll go to the edges again. One last time. We will extrude out. It looks like we want to go somewhere about there. We can drop here. Okay, so that looks like that's where the brake light is, the third brake light. So I'll bring that here. Let's go up and around on all those quite nicely. Okay. So it's probably looking like these points here. I'm going to want to go more like that. Looks like we just want to get a little bit of discrepancy out of this line here. I think what we'll want is we'll want these to flow as well. Okay. So that's fine. And then we can get the edges here again, and we can now bring them down. Like so. Okay, it's looking good. Let's get those two here and just take those back. Okay, so now we need to think about what's going on here. So let's see, we're going to want to insert some edge loops, so we're going to want to drop one here. merge the vertices. And then what we can do for now is let's just take this edge over here. And then for now we'll just merge these until we start to separate the panels. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So it looks like the next bit we could do is we probably want to go in this direction a little bit. Now what we'll need to do here is we're going to need maybe bring this one down here. And then we need to make sure we're still sitting pretty just there. Something like that. And what we're going to want to do is we'll need to bring these points back in this direction here. And we can merge these two together. Let's bring this one out over here. We'll bring it here so that we can get that section put in. And some curvature around here. So it looks like it would be something like that. And then we've got this point here that I think what we could do is grab this, merge it over here. We will make these separate sections and adjust them afterwards. Let's maybe not, let's maybe drop that just there. I think these lines here need to be slightly higher. Okay. And then we're just going to grab the edge here. Maybe drop that something like that. Let's make sure these are in the right place again on the side here. Something like that. And then we could take this edge over here. And here. And bring it there. And then we can extrude on this too. Now all these are going to be chopped up anyway. That one just there. And this one will merge around here. Cool. So it looks like we've got the base mesh there laid out quite nicely. This here looks like it's all additional darker trim, which is obviously going to make up where the roof actually comes out of. Now, I think what we'll do in the next episode is, we'll start with the actual roof. I'm going to take the roof up and over because I think it'll be fairly handy to have that on the model, and then we can maybe animate that coming up and out when we rig the car a little bit later as well. So I think so far we're looking good. We've got the base mesh laid out almost entirely. All we're going to do is put the roof on as well, and then it's going to be a case of extracting the panels, getting everything smoothed out, looking good, and then we can start on the next tutorial series, which will be modeling the inside for it. Okay guys, cool.